Hey guys, and welcome back. Hope things are well. Newcastle United transfer news. Let's just talk about it straight away. Marc Guehi is not going to join Newcastle United in this window. We can almost guarantee that now because it has been reported that Crystal Palace have accepted a £30 million fee for Anderson. So with Anderson going to Fulham, that's one of their main centre-halves gone. It's not impossible, but it would be highly unorthodox and for me extremely unlikely that Palace would sell both of their starting centre halves. So I think it's fair to assume that Newcastle United have missed out on Marc Guehi. In my personal opinion, we'll speak to North East Update, who's just to my right, but in my personal opinion, I think it's damaging in this window because Newcastle have spent so much time on it. But I actually think the long term it's going to be better off for Newcastle. And is that something you agree with?
Yeah, I mean, I would have walked away from it a long while ago. The transfer that's kind of come about with Fulham, it hasn't just come out of nowhere. Deals like that don't just happen overnight. It's probably been going on a couple of weeks. I think Crystal Palace have screwed us over a little bit because they've maybe not had any intention because they wanted this deal done. For me, I would have walked away ages ago. We're paying a massively overinflated fee because of the Euros. For me, I think we should be spending half of that. We're not a Man City who have just got one problem that we need to solve. We've got a few different positions, right wing, possibly left back as well. Far too much for me to be spending on one centre back. So for me, I'm kind of glad a little bit. I'm hoping we do kind of get a little bit of a cheaper option, but still have a little bit of the quality and then spend a little bit of money on right wing or elsewhere as well.
I mean, £70 million is mental. That was the price he would have paid to even Guehi. And do I think Newcastle should have done that? No, as much as I think he's a quality player, it would have been a massive statement signing. But truthfully, Newcastle can't allow themselves to be almost just sucked in by these teams into spending stupid money and to make us look almost a bit embarrassing in terms of these transfers. So it's important to keep our reputation while making sure Newcastle also spends wisely. And we're going to talk about those signings in this video because Austin straight away has put out a post of what players Newcastle are targeting next, and he is probably the most reliable journalist out there. So we've got a couple of major coups that Newcastle could potentially bring in. But straight away, just before we get into things, if you guys are new around here and you enjoy the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to subscribe to North East Updates as well. So his channel link will be down in my pinned comment and also the description, so make sure you go check him out. And let's just speak about Austin's breaking headline yesterday because, well, with Newcastle now missing out on Marc Guehi, so that saga's over and done with. Tapsoba from Bayer Leverkusen and Diasai, the one of several Chelsea centre-halves, has been linked to Newcastle. Now, we'll talk about Tapsoba shortly because I'm excited by that one. Quality player. Leverkusen have been unbelievable as well, so we'll talk about that one because I think that's also a statement signing. But let's start with Diasai from Chelsea because, well, I seen it yesterday with actually tossing Adebayo to a player Newcastle had wanted to bring in, a free agent that was linked to Newcastle, decided to go to Chelsea, had a lot of control in that transfer because of the fact he is a free agent. Didn't even get selected for a European squad at the Conference League. He doesn't even get selected for that. And one of Chelsea's 10 centre-halves, he hasn't been selected. So, I mean, straight away, what were your thoughts about that and tossing side?
I mean, I think there's other players that we should be going for, in my opinion. It doesn't really inspire us. It's a bit of a step down from Guehi. I know it's obviously we've spent loads of time on him. He's obviously the number one. I would have went for Branthwaite at the start. I know his fee's exactly the same. But if we're raiding Chelsea, I think there's other players that really kind of stick out a little bit more for me. For Chilwell to kind of cover left back, obviously Lewis Hall's only 19 and stuff like that. I think he'll be a great addition. Diasai, not really keen on too much. I think he'll plug a hole, he'll be fine. But going forward, if we're trying to compete for Champions League places, I would probably be looking at alternatives for him.
Yeah, no worries. And obviously, just on the topic of tossing before, yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why he went to Chelsea. It's just a money's game now. And I don't think ever realistically could expect that he would be getting games. He's not even getting selected for a squad, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, I probably agree when you mentioned Alex Diasai there. For me, we have to say, if we're going to spend money in the centre-half, you have to bring a good one in. We'll come on to Tapsoba next because we'll buy Leverkusen. Almost did the invincible treble. Didn't happen in the final game. It fell apart for them, but obviously to bring someone of his standard in. I watched a bit of Leverkusen. It's such a solid team, but actually with a transfer like this one was, why would Tapsoba join Newcastle? One, we don't have European football, and two, Bayer Leverkusen is like the club to be at the minute. So in his point of view, it's going to be tough to bring someone like Newcastle. Maybe the fact that we are a Premier League team with a lot of ambition, maybe that could be a leading factor, but Yeah, just talking about Tapsoba. I mean, what are your thoughts about him?
Yeah, I mean, if we can get him, I think that'll be a little bit of a coup for Newcastle. Be fantastic. The way that the whole team played together as a unit last season, massively. I think everyone across the whole of football was impressed with him and the whole club. Would he want to leave? Like I say, like you mentioned, when you're at the top and stuff like that, it's going to be very hard. You're not going to want to lose such momentum. It was kind of like Leicester when they did the unthinkable and stuff like that. Everyone kind of wanted to be in. Their team did get picked apart a little bit. I could see that the lure of the Premier League maybe getting them, but for me, I think that there's probably other alternatives I'd go for. I'd either go for that Thou, or I would also go for Tomori and stuff like that. That's the kind of names I would be looking for.
The two AC Milan centre halves, yeah. I do like Tomori a lot. Thou, I mean, the more I see about him, the less I think he would join Newcastle. But yeah, there are options out there, but we're at that stage of the window now. We've got 10 days left, so just over a week. Newcastle, if they want to get some business done, they've got to start talking to those clubs about now, I would say. And the issue with Newcastle being, but it's not going to affect the likes of, obviously, Darwin, who was the player, yeah, because they've got a lot of stuff going on in the background. But Newcastle play 3 times in that next week as well, so there's a lot of activity going on with this football club. It's going to be a bit of a tricky stint for Newcastle, where they do have to go out and get the players. But 10% off, so I'm excited by Tapsoba. If we can potentially bring him in, I'll be very accepting that. I know you might want a different option, but I think Tapsoba is a quality player. Still haven't seen any news surrounding that, so that's my concern this window if we don't bring a winger in. But we'll see over the next week how that one goes. But I just wanted to mention an interesting point actually. So I was recording videos before with no updates here, so we're inside the Geordie Star talking about Newcastle's window. And quite a valid point that you made was actually the amount of players Newcastle have. Well, you've got 1 year left in their contract, and the list is quite extensive. And my concern with the list is actually not the players we have on it, but more of the first teams we have on it. Shaw's on it, Longstaff's on it, Byrne, Wilson, Trippier. These players all can essentially go, well, you know what, we're going at the end of the season. That's before you even look at the likes of Kraft. I think Hayden's still got 2 more years of his stupid contract. Fraser, you've got there's a Houseman Ashby, or maybe a different fullback, but we've got all these players down. I know it's Jamal Lewis, so you have all these players down where, I mean, there's so many players. But the problem Newcastle's made, I felt, especially in this window, we haven't sort ahead of next window, because you're going to need PSR still every single season. Trippier, I think, was a big one. Could have sold him for around £10 million if you want to be fair. With him not going, I can't see Trippier staying. I think he'll walk next summer. So the problem Newcastle has is that we'll miss out on sales. And I feel like that is a concern. I think that was a problem Newcastle's made in this window. Is that something you are looking into?
I mean, if you look at the age profile, it's only really shown Longstaff and maybe Kraft, who's 30, who are kind of people that you think are going to have a long-term future. The other ones, you've got Wilson, you've got Byrne, and you've got Trippier. All are kind of at the end of their careers, possibly be offered another 1 year. Maybe not Trippier, who's going to be reaching an extra year. I think he's still coming up to 34. So a lot of them are going to be backline players. You've got Kraft, you've got Byrne. So if the centre-back wasn't a priority before, it is definitely now. Obviously, Shaw's going into the last year of his contract as well. He's 32, probably get another year based on his performance. But it's all of these defensive players who haven't really got a concrete future going beyond a year. Drives forward the fact that we definitely need the centre-back pairing covered. We've obviously got Botman, who's going to be around for a long time. We're going to need possibly someone a bit younger as well to develop a long-term partnership. So whoever we do get, I would like to see someone, not necessarily 19, 20, but someone who's maybe got a lot of years left to offer for Newcastle, just to really drive that partnership.
Well, yeah, I think we touched on basically most of the stuff there. It's just the centre-halves. It's just the centre-half Newcastle are sticking with at the minute. No one using a winger. Just the fact that we missed out on Guehi, and now it looks like we're going in for Tapsoba or Diasai. We're interested in the pair of them. I think the Tapsoba is a good one, as I said before. I think Newcastle can get some good deals going, but it has to be starting to come into fruition before that Bournemouth game, because there's just a week left. I want to be fair on Newcastle. I don't want to judge the window yet. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be as honest as possible. We're going to wait until the window has concluded, and then I'm going to give you my honest thoughts. But deals do have to be made. We still, in my opinion, have not signed an actual first-team player in this window. Hall was last season because of how his contract worked. Like Kelly, I think it's a good free signing. 2 goalkeepers that aren't going to start, and Ursula, who's a player for the future. So not much there, in all honesty. So yeah, we're going to have to wait to see. Give Newcastle 1 more week. Make sure things are well there. But as I mentioned before, I've done some videos on North East Updates, so make sure you subscribe to him. Over the next few days, you'll start to see him come out on his YouTube channel. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. It's a bit of a cold day out in Newcastle, but listen, it's good to be back as always. It's good to see you again. And thoughts on Bournemouth before I let you go?
If we're touching, because we did obviously a video where we looked at the Premier League predictions as well, we both kind of had Newcastle in Europe at some stage. I'll not ruin the video and spoil it, but we both predicted Europe. If we are trying to get into Europe, a team like Bournemouth, you do really need to be getting 3 points from there. We're probably hitting them at the best time of the season, really. They've let Solanke go. They'll be fetching a new striker in. He'll be getting used to it and stuff like that. So for me, I think they're really going to struggle for goals. We did amazing defensively with 10 men last week. So for me, maybe 2-3-0. I see a comfortable win, but hopefully I'm not eating my words next week.
Yeah, I've said the same as well, but I kind of don't want to jinx Newcastle. I think we'll win, as long as we get the 3 points. That's all we need. But appreciate it anyway. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for watching. Take care, and we'll see you all in the next one.